This is not something that it's not seen as a problem anymore. It's a reality. And it's not about how we stop it. It's about how we deal with this. And the amount of people that are going to want to leave areas of the world that are going to become unlivable under future climate change scenarios is just going to increase. So the earlier we start figuring out how we're going to share the space where we can live as humans, the better.
A scorching heat wave, and forecasters have warned some areas facing 48 degrees early next week. The Met Office has also predicted temperatures up 12 degrees above normal will continue into August. We can speak to Teresa Gimeno, who is a climate scientist at the Centre for Ecological Research and Forestry Applications in Barcelona. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
First of all, tell us what it is like in Barcelona at the moment. What are temperatures like there?
So right now we're experiencing 27 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot, given that it's not even 9 o'clock here. So it's already hot.
How worried are you by what we have seen and what we're going to see across Europe over the last week or so?
We are very worried, and seeing how measures are not being put into place fast enough, it's even more worrisome.
And what are the main concerns? I mean, presumably the longevity of these heat waves and the frequency of them?
Absolutely. So under current climate change scenario, we are experiencing not only more frequent and more severe heat waves and episodes of extreme warm temperatures, but also longer episodes, meaning that now we can experience half of the month of July under temperatures that can be up to 5 or 10 degrees above what's normal for this time of the year.
And what impact does that have? I mean, clearly on human health, but I'm thinking of other issues, food production, for example. Just give us a sense of what is affected.
So food productivity gets very negatively affected by these extreme heat wave events, but not only extreme events such as the one we are experiencing right now, but for example, this spring here in Southern Europe was unusually warm, and the unusually warm episodes started much earlier than usual, meaning that in April, for example, we were experiencing temperatures typical of June, July here. And that meant that plants were mismatched from their pollinators. Their life cycles did not match in time. And that had a huge impact, for example, on the production of stone fruit here.
So I'm just wondering, you're seeing this very much as a trend rather than a blip, because I'm just thinking even in this country last year, we saw temperatures of over 40 degrees in the summer. Is this something we should expect year on year?
Unfortunately, yes. These type of episodes are going to become the norm from now on.
I mean, is there anything we can do? I just feel deeply depressed at this point. You know, we all try to do our bit, and yet things aren't changing. Things are getting significantly worse.
Well, on the one hand, there's the obvious answer that we all have heard millions of times, which is cutting down the rate of CO2 emissions from burning fossil fuels. But on the other hand, the other type of measures that we can do that will have a positive impact on our lives and on our ecosystems that can be more immediate is adaptation, such as, for example, implementing in our cities policies that will increase our comfort, such as planting more trees, for example.
And just elaborate on that, how that makes a difference.
So trees are the best invention for cooling our urban spaces, as far as we know, because they use water in a way that is pretty conservative, meaning that they store water in the underground compartment in the soil under the roots, and then they use that water little by little to transfer it back into the atmosphere. And during that process, they use energy. That energy then is not used to warm up the atmosphere, meaning that around those trees, we will experience cooler temperatures.
Wow, that's amazing. And it actually looks nicer as well and helps
Absolutely.
get rid of CO2. So it's a win-win. Do you worry? I mean, obviously food production you've touched on there is an issue. One thing we've been warned, of course, with changes in the climate is mass movement of people. How much of an issue is that likely to be as temperatures across Europe get so much?
European countries, the ministries of defense, of interior, got together here to discuss how to address this. And one of the things that was said is that this is not something that it's not seen as a problem anymore. It's a reality. And it's not about how we stop it. It's about how we deal with this. And the amount of people that are going to want to leave areas of the world that are going to become unlivable under future climate change scenarios is just going to increase. So the earlier we start figuring out how we're going to share the space where we can live as humans, the better.
Gosh, it's depressing. Thank you for your time this morning. I'm grateful to you.
And I'm sorry I left you with the gloom.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's important we know this stuff. Thank you so much. That is Teresa Gimeno, who is a climate scientist at the Centre for Ecological Research and Forestry Applications in Barcelona. Is it just me? I just always feel so desperately sad when we have these conversations. We know what's going to happen. We're warned what's going to happen. It happens.
And then we're throw our hands up in the air.
That's what I just did.
Exactly.